Before we start the podcast, there is going to be a spoiler warning ahead. For anyone who hasn't seen this movie yet, I suggest logging off this video and going to watch it before you come back on here. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day. Go ahead, honey.
So you ready to talk about this?
Yes. Hi, guys. Welcome back to the CharmingAnalysis Podcast. It's been a little bit because busyness. So most of this is hopefully going to be uploaded next week.
We were just like, oh, we can finally watch it on said movie site. So let's just fucking watch it.
And see what what's about.
Yeah.
If you guys are wondering what we're talking about, we're going to be talking about Raya and the Last Dragon.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
Yeah. So this movie came out recently, and me and Jay have kind of been curious about it. Mm-hmm. It's been a while since you've been curious about an actual Disney movie. So,
I mean, I wasn't overhyped with it, to be honest. I kind of knew what it was gonna be.
But you wanted to still watch it to see if it was actually good?
I wanted to watch it in case it had any of those moments that I like from anything. And, spoilers, didn't really.
Yeah. So, yeah, we just like I said in the beginning, there is going to be spoilers coming on with this podcast just because it's still kind of new and we kind of have to at this point to kind of explain everything. Mm-hmm. So if you really don't want to know any spoilers about Raya and the Last Dragon, click off right about now because we're going to get into spoiler territory. Mm-hmm. So why don't we explain what Raya and the Last Dragon is? You go ahead, honey. You get to go first.
Pretty much it's about these 5 kingdoms that all represent a part of the dragon that used to live in harmony, but now because they have to defend against some fucking evil, that turns people into stone. They were divided, and they each have a piece of the dragon spirit, Dragon Ball.
Not the Dragon Ball.
Well, literally, it's the Dragon Ball.
No, it's
not. It's
not.
the Dragon Ball. They have each, they have 5 pieces of the Dragon Ball that Raya has to go find to unite the kingdoms and stop bringing evil chaos to the world. Also, there's a dragon that,
helps along the way.
Helps along the way, more like a noise, but I'm gonna get to that later. So, and then there's people trying to stop them, yada yada. It's pretty much a MacGuffin quest movie.
Yeah. It's literally, okay, legit. Basically, Nostalgia Critic kind of describes it the best, so I'm going to probably quote something around that. Because he basically describes it as anime, Last Airbender, and just Dragon Ball, shit like that all put together. It's literally a mix between Avatar: The Last Airbender and a couple other shows like that.
I feel like this took inspiration from a lot of those things, but the thing about it is...
But it makes it entirely different.
It does, a little bit. I mean, the cultural reference is still there, but, I guess I'll just start, with this, because honestly, the main issue I have is with the story beats and how the characters interact with each other. And it's mainly something to where this is why I find a lot of entertainment okay nowadays.
Because they do the same thing. And
it does kind of the same thing, especially in kids' animated films, which is why, normally I kind of try to, it's I don't dislike them. It's just I know them beat by beat. And the only way to really, stick with me nowadays is to, pretty much... Be impressive in its own limitations.
Yeah.
Be impressive in your own field and do something that resonates well. And to me, I think that this is just one of those things where it's another Moana to me.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about Moana. But when I saw it, I was like, it's okay. But compared to the Disney movies that are not princess movies, compared to those movies, I feel like Disney puts a lot more effort in the screenplay. Not the screenplay,
the advertising.
Not the ad. No, I'm talking about the writing. They put a lot more effort into the writing in their non-princess movies.
Yeah. To me, I can see where you're coming from with this. I can see where you can kind of feel like it is similar to Moana in a sense, but I feel like this one is more, like, action-oriented and stuff. It
is.
Picture Moana, but with more action in it, in a sense.
Moana with more action, and Moana if it was more obnoxious in a way with its message.
Here's the thing with me, though, like, I consider Moana and this movie completely different movies. Like,
they're different movies, but it's like, I got a similar reaction to both
like a similar vibe.
Yeah, it's like, okay, this is not really doing anything new, like, you know, in terms of what Disney could do. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's like, oh, Moana had that weird fucking scene with what's his name?
Which one?
The crab. What's the crab's name?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
The shiny crab.
Shiny crab. I'm just gonna say
whatever his name is.
Tamatoa.
Tamatoa.
Yeah, it had like that weird fucking scene with Tamatoa that like wasn't like I didn't even see coming, and like it was like so fucking weird. He had this like weird song that literally derived. It sounded like a song from like an 80s villain, and I think that's why people liked it so fucking much. And I think that's why it stuck with people, because it was like, what the fuck? Like, this weird fucking scene. And even, I can't even compare it, like, I can't even say this movie has a weird fucking scene in it that's like, oh, okay, I guess that's gonna stick with me. It's like, no. And even, like, if it didn't have a weird scene, I don't think the movie is good enough to carry, like, for, like, how long is it? Like, more than 90 minutes?
It's almost 2 hours.
It's almost 2 hours.
That's the funny thing. This is
to be 2 hours.
This is the funny thing. It's one of the longer Disney movies, like, that are animated, and I find that interesting, that this is literally almost 2 hours. Like,
notwithstanding credits.
Here's the thing, though. For me,
it doesn't. Well, it's average for movie length to me. It's average for movie length. But the thing is, it drags. It drags. I literally do not feel any effect from the story of what is going on. It's like, I know Disney movies tend to have like an exclamation, like in the beginning of their movies.
Yeah.
And like they always do that. But the thing about it is, it's like, I feel like it was just kept on going on, and they kept on doing it throughout the movie.
It's like they tried to put Avatar: The Last Airbender into one. It's like basically putting Avatar in an entire movie, but they like did. It's like basically putting the beginning part of Avatar and the last part of Avatar into a movie. But here's the thing with me, though, personally, I don't feel like the movie dragged on that much. Like, there's some things that I can see where you're coming from, but personally, I didn't find it dragging in any way. I actually I actually really liked the lure, and I liked how we actually get to see her backstory with the characters, and with the backstory of, like, Raya and stuff. Mm-hmm. But this is the thing, though. I don't know if this is technically considered a Disney princess movie, but it didn't feel like a princess movie to me. It really didn't.
They're not doing the fucking princess. They're doing the warrior movie. They're doing the warrior movie that, like, you know, they'll be, like, alone, and then they'll have, like, a sidekick, or several sidekicks that hang around the way, that, like, they meet along the way and stuff. They're not doing the princess movie anymore. They're doing the warrior movie. And I think that's why, like, you know, Disney is trying to do, but they don't understand how to set up a movie like that. The thing about it is, when I saw, like, okay, perfect example. I know this is, like, going to be a different movie, but the last princess movie that I thoroughly enjoyed came out 10 years ago.
What was it?
Tangled.
Okay.
That's the last princess movie I actually enjoyed. I know the different, like, if you're going to compare this to, like, in my opinion, the last good Disney princess movie ever made, which is kind of like, you know,
Princess and the Frog and Tangled.
Yeah, well,
I like Princess and the Frog.
I can argue about Princess and the Frog,
but I still like it.
I can argue about that. But I can. Okay, so let's just say Tangled for context sake.
Fine, we'll say
for context for Tangled. So Tangled isn't like an action adventure comedy.
Yes,
you could say that. And this is more of an action, kind of like, you know, inspired by, like, you know...
Avatar and stuff.
No, it's inspired by, like, you know, very high production, let's say, Chinese, like...
Movies.
Like Asian influenced movies that like have a big budget, and they're going for something like a Mulan. They're going for something that's supposed to be big and action oriented, and like that's supposed to, like, you know, be in the end like a MacGuffin, not a MacGuffin, but like a quest movie that has a lot of action and a little bit of comedy.
But the thing about this one compared to the other movies we've seen, this one has actually no songs in it. They decided, hey, let's not put songs in it.
No,
for once.
Okay, that's not what I was getting at. The thing is, it tries to be everything. It tries to be a comedy, just like the other ones were. My opinion, doesn't have the story to invoke a comedy. But the thing about it is, it wouldn't bother me if they didn't try for comedy so much, which they did a lot, and a lot of the comedy annoyed the fuck out of me because it just ruined some scenes. It just ruined scenes for me. When I was like, oh, like, you know, maybe have a decent conversation, I couldn't have a decent fucking conversation with any of these people because it's like you're trying to, like, you know, joke it up, bring on the comedy and shit. It's like, no, this doesn't fit well with the scene. Like, the biggest example is that fucking dragon. Honestly, like, even if you, like, yeah, the fucking design, you could argue about that, but to be honest, I don't care to argue about that because it's a fucking Disney movie.
Yeah, like, they're gonna have to Disneyfy something in this movie.
Like, just fucking... I don't care about you Disneyfying a fucking... that's their thing. Go for it. I don't care at this point. I don't care about the fucking design or anything like that.
Like, to me, the design, no joke, it reminded me of the Keurig from My Little Pony, but noodles. They're literally, like, long, noodly, like, Keurigs.
They kind of are, but...
Like, no joke, they have, like, the fucking fur.
I'm okay with their design. That's fine.
I know, but I find that interesting.
I'm okay with their design. Okay. How do I explain this? I don't like the way that she's animated.
The dragon?
I don't like the way she's animated. Everything seemed a little bit off. Like, the animation, voice acting especially. I know, like, you know, some people like, oh, I want to see more, you know, I want to see more people, like, you know, I want to see actual voice actors and, like, people who, like, want to have a distinguished voice be in more animated films, but it's like...
It's kind of hard.
It's kind of hard when it doesn't fucking fit any tone of the scene.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be. And the way she was, like... The dialogue was the one that bothered me the most.
Just her dialogue?
It was her dialogue that was not fitting. Not fitting with this world. Not fitting with the characters. Not fitting with anything. She didn't belong in that movie. I feel like this is like a character from a movie that you dropped plucked in there. Out and you put it in there and it didn't fit at all. It didn't fit whatsoever. I legit... If this movie was about Raya, I would have liked it a lot more. But half the screen time has to deal with that fucking dragon. And it's like, I don't care for her character.
She's basically like the non-creepy version of, like, the teacher lady from, like, Little Nightmares 2, in a sense. If you picture...
What the fuck?
Well, she got the long neck, but she's not creepy.
That does not have any fucking reference or design. You know what she reminds me of?
What?
She reminds me of the gargoyles from Hunchback Notre Dame.
How does she remind you of that? They're like
it's the same fucking annoying dialogue.
Oh
it's
my
the same, like, tried to mix in comedy where it doesn't fucking belong.
I can see where you're coming from with it, but I don't see it.
It doesn't match. It's a character that the movie doesn't match them. Even it's part of the fucking title, and they couldn't put in a character that was, like, from this movie.
I feel
that's the most disappointing to me. That is a flaw. Like, a major fucking flaw that this movie I can't like personally deal with, because I think when you literally have one of the characters in your fucking title that doesn't feel like it fits with the rest of the movie, that ruins a movie. Yeah. It ruins a movie. I maybe you like her more than me because she was cute and she had a cute design, but I couldn't get into her, man. She was
like the thing with me. Here's the thing with me.
Fuck out of me.
Like, is it the best Disney movie in the last like couple years? I feel like it's one of the better Disney movies that they've done in the last couple years.
No.
But however, like it does have its flaws. And when you showed me Nostalgia Critic's review on it, a lot of the points of his I actually did agree with. Like,
it's very childish.
It is it feels like she didn't have like she was more of a child character than what we were letting on, because think about it, like Raya was an only child.
Are you talking about Raya or Sisu?
Sisu, the dragon. So here's the thing. She, in a sense, she was more like one of the child characters, like the baby and like the other child character.
I get it. Her thing is being really naive, but it got to the point where
it made
her naivete got her into legit trouble, and they should have she should have.
It went too far.
Yeah, it went too far, and it went on too long. It went on as like, oh, a quirk. It's like, no, just make fucking good decisions. I was fucking annoyed at the first 10 minutes of the movie when Ryan's just like, oh, well, yeah, I just met you with this new girl for like an hour. Let me go take her to this fucking secret fortress in the volcano and show her where the Dragon Ball is.
Okay, I will fucking admit that was a dumb mistake that Disney did.
Yeah, that was...
Okay, stuff I will admit about this movie that I can't let slide. There's some stuff in this movie that I honestly did let slide. However, the two things that didn't let me... Well, actually three. The three things that didn't let me slide in this movie.
Okay.
The beginning part where Raya trusts her
She known her for...
the fangirl for like an hour.
Yeah,
I will admit was dumb.
For one day, and you were like, let me show you this fucking secret.
That was dumb.
And like, she's like, that's the thing that leads her down the dishonest road. And I'm just like, bruh, you both were in the fucking wrong.
First they both were.
We were trying to make peace. You shouldn't have gone for the fucking Dragon Ball. And you, Raya, why would you trust this girl who you were saying that, oh, the clans, there are mortal enemies. Like, don't invite them into our kingdom. And you were like, oh, well, this girl seems nice. Let me show you. And like, fool myself now.
Okay, that was one of the things that bothered me.
No, here's the thing. Especially since she already has a prejudice against the kingdoms and just her mind changed within a day. No, that wouldn't fucking happen to anyone.
Yeah, that I will admit bothered me. That was just like, as soon as like that scene happened in the movie, I was like, are you kidding me?
I'm like, I don't have any sympathy anymore. I really don't.
Okay, second thing that bothered me about this movie, and I will admit this, because it legit did bother me, even though I do like the dragon in this movie, probably not as much as you do.
I don't like the dragon,
but like
I don't like the dragon.
I like her more than you do, but I will admit though, the part where she's like doing all the credit thing and the fact that she almost got killed because of her naivete. In like the halfway through the movie, that I will admit bothered me, because it's like, are you that stupid?
Yeah, she is that stupid.
Like, okay,
she is that stupid.
I thought
and
at first,
it's not charming.
It wasn't okay. It was fine for me. I was like, okay, this is okay. But then after that scene, I'm like, are you kidding me right now? She gets conned by like, are you that dumb? Like, are you that dumb?
Yeah, she is.
That bothered me, because I'm like, dude,
I could understand her not understanding credit.
That is fine.
That's a new thing that she probably has not. She's been gone 500 years.
That's
whatever.
different.
But
I meant the end of that scene to like that. Basically the end of that scene to that.
She's like, oh, I have the missing piece of the Dragon Ball. She just spilled that out.
She fucking spilled it. That pissed me off. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Ryan said, don't tell anybody that we have this.
Said, okay, don't tell anybody. the dragon. 10 minutes later, I have these dragon stones, and I'm like,
what the fuck, man?
I'm like, dude,
that was fucking annoying. And
dude,
and when she was trying to prove to Raya when they were handing it to like the ice fortress thing, like, hey, all you need is a little bit of kindness, and then they immediately got caught. As like, I'm trying to prove something to you. Yeah, you're gonna fucking prove that you're dead.
Okay. That part surprisingly didn't piss me off. I actually found that kind of funny.
Sorry.
Okay, that part I found funny.
No, she's a liability.
Yeah.
Get her off the team.
Okay, the last part that bothered me.
Leave her in the fucking desert.
Jay, here's the last part that bothered me.
What?
The fucking climax of, like, them going with Suzu's plan. Like, not the first, like, the dream form of the plan, even though that was fucking cute. But just going out in the middle. And about to get the dragon stone, and then they at that second where they, like, realized, oh shit, we fucked up. And I'm like,
bro,
that bothered me.
Aku, don't you know what, like, you live in fucking enemy kingdoms. You know
that I will admit, that was the last thing that bothered me. And then the fact that this fucking bitch shot the dragon, like, with an arrow, and it's like, you guys could have fucking avoided this.
They could have fucking avoided that.
They could have avoided it. They literally could have waited until, like, they realized, hey, she's actually gonna not do shit, and then she pulls out the fucking crossbow, and I'm like, you were this close to making me not hate you.
So do you hate Raya? Or not Raya, Sisu. Do you hate Sisu?
I don't I don't completely hate her. I feel like
she's untrustworthy.
No.
Oddly enough, the character who wants to be trusting is like the most naive fucking stupid
I honestly
ass
feel
I've ever
like
seen.
she should have used her brain more. To me, she's more of like the character that you want to just tell, you could have thought this through better. Right? And then she's like,
sat her ass down. Even like
this is like the moment where you want to sit her down and be like, you fucked up.
She knows the risk, and she cares enough about humans to not see them die. But she knows the risk. She knows what she did. Like, what's at stake. But she makes stupid decision after stupid decision after stupid decision. And I'm just like, even after all of this, you still want to fucking trust the enemy? The enemy who, like, you know, partly caused all this? No, fuck you. Fuck you. That's where I honestly have to say, this character's too stupid for me to root for or to even care about.
Okay, like,
I wouldn't trust this character with a fucking can of soup. Like, that's how fucking dumb
okay,
they are.
So this is one of those moments where it's like, they could have written her a lot better. The potential was there.
Yeah, the potential.
But it's like they got lazy near the end of it. It's like they did, okay, this gigantic, like, climactic thing, like, this best thing ever, and then at the end it's just like, that. Like,
the climax was like
they're just like, oh, fart joke, piss joke.
Yeah, but the main climax, like, was like fucking bull, because honestly it was like, oh, we all need to, like, fucking trust each other because that's what Suzu would have wanted. And I'm like,
Suzu wanted to just make sure no one got killed. That's literally the only thing. However,
like, trust, and I'm like, bro, this didn't teach me anything about trust. This movie does not teach me anything about trust. It really
didn't, and that's sad.
Like, it's like, that's the main fucking core of your movie, and you're not even getting that well. You know, the more I talk about this movie, the more it kind of legit pisses me off. Because I'm, like, thinking about the wasted potential. And
like,
I'm thinking
this is the
about
thing.
all of the
this could have had the potential.
People.
This could have had the potential to be one of the greater, like, Disney movies. This could have been just as good as Mulan when it came out.
No.
But they've pretty much fucked it up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest. They pretty much fucked it up.
And
that's disappointing to say.
I can't even say, like, you know, like, Suzu, I can't even say, just like I did with the, like, you know, I guess, like, going back to the gargoyles, I can't even say that, like, the rest of the movie is, like, so, like, the rest of the movie is so good that I can let, like, the annoying side character slide.
But I
can't even say that, because it's like fucking, what, 80% of the fucking movie she's in it, and I'm sorry, I can't fucking stand her. I can't stand her. I can't, even the other characters, I'm like, you're not that interesting. Raya is not that... Raya isn't that interesting. The best thing I could say about it is the fucking world. But the thing about it is, when I say that if the world is more interesting than your fucking characters that live in it,
there's something wrong.
That's something a little bit of manipulative and wrong to me.
Okay, like, here's one more thing I'll probably mention. A couple more things I'll mention.
Okay.
And then we'll give our
Well,
rating.
I guess you could say the things that you liked about it. I can say some things I little bit liked.
Okay, I will say this before we talk about our likes and dislikes about it.
Well, we talked about our dislikes a lot.
Well, something I will say about this movie.
25 minutes of dislikes.
Like, this movie, like, it had really good lure and stuff. I will be honest, I did actually like the lure of it. However, like, if they would have done... I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. Like, this is one of those movies that I feel like could have been good, but it was good for, like, the first half. And then after, like, a bit, we started to realize, oh, shit, they made this worse than it was supposed to be. I feel like they could have done a whole lot better.
I feel like they were literally like, okay, we got to put it out now. And, like, okay, well, don't do another draft of the script. Just put it out now. I'm just like, fuck, guys. You could have done...
Like, wasn't this supposed to come out last year?
It was supposed to come out sooner.
It was supposed to come out sooner?
Imagine, this was supposed to come out sooner. Imagine how much worse it would have probably been if it would have come out sooner.
That's a good point. But
this is the best version of what we have.
Like, this, honestly, that's what surprises me. It's like... Because we found out about the trailers, like, last year.
Yeah.
But it got pushed back to, like, literally, like, a couple days ago. And it's like... this makes me wonder if a lot of the movies that were supposed to come out last year are gonna be like this. You know what I mean?
No, because they were just, like, those are films already done. They're made. And but
they just couldn't release it.
We just can't see them released yet. So, imagine how No, the thing is, imagine how... Like, the world isn't dated. The animation isn't going to be dated.
Yeah.
But imagine the dialogue, how boring and dated it's going to be.
Yeah.
Like, imagine. I'm thinking about it in the long run. Like, am I going to watch this again? No.
I'm probably not going to watch it again. And if I do, I'm only going to watch clips of it.
Yeah. Am I going to, like, am I going to admire it? Not really. I'm just going to be like, it exists. Kind of pissed me off. Not as much as other Disney movies. Good God. This is not the that I got more pissed off at. Trust me. There's other worse offenders that actually have terrible fucking messages that should have never been released. This one just doesn't know what it wants to be and therefore does everything so poorly.
Like, here's the other thing.
The intent is still there, but it's just very poorly executed.
Yeah. The last thing I'll mention, and then I'll talk about my likes with it, is basically the sad thing is this mainly focused on Ryo and Suzu, and they're pretty much the only memorable characters in this movie. The baby with the monkeys is barely memorable. The one dude from Spine that lasted somehow through all this shit. I don't know how the fuck he lasted through all this. The fact that literally almost the entire Spine community was destroyed by these things, and I'm just like... And the kid and whatever the fucking beetle thing was, I don't even know what the fuck that thing was. But they're, like, not that memorable, really, and that's sad. Because the characters themselves have potential, but they barely got written in.
Here, think about the other movies, the other Disney movies that at least have memorable characters.
Like Pascal.
Main fucking characters. You can't you can't remember anything besides that fucking dragon and Ryo.
And that's
it. Like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck?
Like, you write these characters, but they're barely even seen. Like, they're barely even in there. They're only in there for, like, the last, like, half of the movie, and that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to get through my likes.
What you like.
The only stuff I liked about this movie, besides the lure, because I already talked about that, I do like...
I swear.
Rya's voice acting.
Okay.
I do like Rya's voice acting in this movie. Okay. I thought it was really good. Well, I could hear the emotion she was doing, like, when she was trying to summon Suzu. Mm-hmm. However, like, the parts like near the end just kind of felt like a little like her voice acting was pretty much good. The middle half it was kind of like but then after that it was good again. I felt the emotion she was having with the whole thing. And I'm happy that she finally got like her, I guess that was her dad back and stuff. The voice acting for her was good. Suzu's could have been a whole lot better. Her dad's voice acting was actually really good. I was actually surprised at how good his was.
I think it's Mog from Legend of Korra. I don't know.
He sounded like a Mon.
It sounded very similar. I wouldn't be shocked if it was the same voice actor.
Yeah. But the voice acting in this is good. Even for most characters.
Even at like a simpler mask.
Yeah. But that's something I will admit. The voice acting is good. I really liked Raya's voice acting. I liked a couple of Suzu's lines near like the middle of the movie when she was a human, but a lot of the dragon lines was okay. It wasn't
her human design I liked.
Yeah, the human design that's something
it's not a pretty design. It's a very like dopey looking design.
Yeah. That's something I will mention.
With really long hair.
That's something I will mention as well. Like I did like Suzu's human design. I thought out of all the designs they could have went with for Suzu, I'm glad they went with this. Like
I think it's modeled actually after the voice actress, but
really?
Yeah.
That's cool. But here's something I will say about it. Like, I do like it. Like, I think it's different than a lot of the other, like, designs they could have. They could have made her all super pretty, but they made her, like, she kind of reminded me of, like, a really funny old lady, if you think about it. She reminded me, like, the old,
very
like...
youthful old lady.
The very youthful old lady, like, or old grandma. Like, she reminds me of, like, a grandma, in a sense.
A little bit.
But at the same... Like, it's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing. She looks younger as a dragon, but as a human, she looks like a crazy, like, funny grandma.
Well, and I like... She's 500 years old.
I know, but...
her human design's going to be a little bit older.
But she looks fucking funny and adorable, honestly. I actually liked her human design a little bit more than her dragon one. The dragon one I thought was cute at the beginning, but, like, it grew on me a little bit more near the end, but I still think the human design was probably the best version of her. Like... I liked their dynamic through the beginning half of the movie, but then after that, like, it kind of, I can see...
I was, like, honestly, like, when I was looking, like, when all the dragons came back, and I'm like, oh, wow, Suzu is actually the best designed one, because these other ones look bad.
Yeah, they didn't look that good, but we only saw, like... a couple of, like, the siblings' designs, but we never get to hear any of their voices.
Yeah,
we never got to hear any of their voices.
Oh, hello, brothers and sisters that have been gone for 500 years.
We don't get any dialogue.
We don't get any dialogue. We don't get a reunion. Like, what the fuck?
That's something, okay, that's something
she was like, I miss them so much, and then when
they never talk.
And then when they finally appear, she's like, oh, you guys are back, and then that's it.
Okay, that's something I will point out before I continue my likes. They never talk. None of her siblings talk throughout anything. She's the only one that fucking talks. None of them do.
She's the only one who can talk. You don't know.
Well, then how is she supposed to understand her siblings?
Dragon language.
Like, are they psychic?
Maybe. They're dragons. Am I gonna argue with dragon magic? No.
I don't fucking know, okay? Look, that's one thing I will say about the movie that I thought was kind of like... Why can't we just hear what their voices sound like? I want to hear what their voices sound like.
Well, maybe they couldn't pay enough actors. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway.
What else?
Last couple things I liked. I actually did like the scene where the little boy, Raya, and Suzu were all talking and putting the flowers like into like the lake. Mm-hmm. I actually did like that scene. I thought it hit pretty hard, in my opinion. Even though I know you don't like Suzu as a character, but you gotta admit...
No. I'm not gonna admit anything that they wanted to take seriously.
I actually liked how we all got to understand that they... Like, she was basically, like, the only...
When she, quote-unquote, died, I was like, yeah, you fucking idiot.
I was surprised she died, but at the same time, I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, you fucking idiot. You knew this was, like, you knew you had some chance that this was gonna fucking happen, but you didn't fucking...
Okay, pretty much I liked that scene. That scene I thought was pretty nice.
Stupidity.
I liked it. Not the death scene, but just the scene where they're all talking about, like, you know, the druids and stuff, and, like, you know, how how they all lost their families in a way. And, like, how he wanted to the little boy wanted to help them in the venture. I thought that was honestly kind of sweet and cute.
Okay.
And even though, like,
at that point, I kind of
dipped out.
I was like, okay.
You like, I'm out.
I was like, I'm out. I don't care what they do. Literally anything. I can just, like, say, okay. I kind of dipped out, and I was like, within, like, I want to say that the main reason why I dipped out probably was when they were, honestly, the fucking boat scene. I was like, when Ryan and Susie first got on the boat, and then Susie started talking, and I was like, okay, I don't see it getting any better from here. I dipped out at that point. I was like, and I was just mildly paying attention, and the things that, like, kind of were like, you fucking idiot. Like, that's the only thing I could really pay attention to, and I was like, normally when, like, you know, something like a movie, like, loses me is when, like, the characters are doing just stupid things, and doing things that don't fit, like,
the narrative
of the script, or literally any fucking characters, like, and anything that the characters are doing doesn't, like,
okay. The last thing I will say that I liked about this movie is the part when she's a kid and she's trying to become, like, the guardian of, like, Suzu and stuff. That whole scene with her fighting her dad and stuff like that, and her basically winning it.
Audio! Goddamn audio cut out again. Okay, so you were saying about the training montage.
Sorry, the audio cut out, guys. Basically, like, I liked that scene. I liked the scene where we, like, basically Raya and her dad were basically fighting to prove that she could handle being the guardian of Suzu in a sense. Mm-hmm. That was probably the best scene in the whole movie, in my opinion.
Other than that,
that's really all I liked, and that's sad.
I'll give you the rundown of what I like. Animation is pretty. I like the places that they go to. I think they have a lot of personality.
Well,
when they do talk about their culture, it's nice. Yeah, that's it. I can't think of anything else. I will not remember this movie tomorrow. I will not remember this movie tomorrow when we, like, you know, have to, like, remember it, like, in, like, whoa, what was it about? Like, what was it? I was like, I don't remember. I just remember it being so obnoxious. So I'm just gonna get my rating right now. It's actually gonna be very low. It's gonna be like a 3 out of 10.
You give it really? A 3?
I will not remember it. I do not have anything. If I literally do not remember it and I can't, like, I don't see myself visiting again, I'm just like, you were very average, and I feel like you probably wasted my time.
Okay.
I will never see this again, and fuck no, it's not worth $30. If I would have saw
this... what? This was worth $30?
Yeah, they're paying $30 for this shit on Disney Plus.
Really?
Yeah.
$30 fucking dollars?
Yeah.
Disney Plus? Damn! Like, why are you trying to charge so much for a fucking movie?
If I would have, like, saw this in the theater, I would have been like, nah.
You probably would be like, that's it, I'm out. And I'd probably be like, honey, why are you going? I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, honey!
I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, I can't. I was like, I'm just sitting here. And I'm just like, ugh. Okay. It feels better to watch these movies at home, so that way it doesn't feel like wasting money.
Yeah, good point. Okay, so for me, this is hard for me, but I'm gonna have to give this. I probably am gonna have to give it like a 4.5. I don't. Even though there's some parts I do like about this movie, and I like the movie as a whole, I feel like there's a lot of stuff that...
I feel like you don't like it as a whole. I feel like you like it in parts.
I like it in parts more, honestly, than a whole.
Mm-hmm.
So, sadly, it's a 4.5 for me. This movie had potential. I really wanted it to be good, because